We're good?
We're good.
Okay, hi everybody. How many of you have been here before when we were talking about financial matters? Okay. All right, so this is all old news to you guys, maybe.
Refresher.
Huh?
A refresher.
A refresher? We're going to do that. It's a good idea. I think for those of you that haven't been here, we're just going to quickly go over what we have been talking about in the last couple of sessions or so. And so, how long have you guys been with Covenant?
I've been with Covenant since July of last year.
Okay, good. Almost a year. Almost your year anniversary. Good for you. Yeah. Year and a half?
About October of last year.
October? Okay.
That's the time when I turned 18. I'm 20 now.
That might be 2 years, if my math is correct. Good for you. 2 years. What do you like about it?
Cozy. I don't have to I mean, we have to get jobs to stay here, so.
Sure.
I do volunteering.
Okay.
I like it here because mainly no rent, no pay, and we get money.
Okay. That's good. Because that won't stay that way forever.
It won't stay that way forever, but we get money.
Yeah, that's right. How about the rest? How long you been with Covenant?
I think it's since about last year of October as well.
Okay.
When I turned 18, January 15.
January of this year?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're in your first half year.
Yeah.
Good. Is it working out okay?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Now, is this one of these classes that you have to come to, or do you want to come to
No,
it?
I have to.
You have to. Is that true with most of you?
Hmm?
You're here because you have to be here.
Yep.
Okay. Do you want to learn about money?
I mean,
Yes.
sure. I might as well.
Yeah.
Okay. It's important. You know,
Sure.
it's something that we all have to have, right? So we're gonna spend some time talking about it.
Right now I'm in high school. I'm finishing my diploma, and I'm taking an economics class. And I feel like economics should be like taken throughout our whole lives, like not
Yeah.
just high school.
You kind of get that idea that it's part of our life forever and forever, right? Yeah, things go better with money. I have found out in my life. Yeah, I've been there. How about the rest of you? You've been here for
About 4 months.
4 months? Okay, so you're a newbie. Okay, good. We're glad you're here. Thanks for being here. My goal today is to just to teach you some basics about how money works, because it's important to know that, because as we grow older, we have to have it. I mean, it's just not one of those things that you can get through life without. So I've got a little outline here for you. As I say, we're going to do a little refresher. See if I've got enough here for everybody. This top diagram that we're going to talk about today, and those of you that have been here before probably recognize that. Do we each need one? Just him? Okay. Okay. So that top diagram is important because it really what we call the wealth wave. And this really is a picture of your life, your financial life. So if you start over on the left-hand side, that's where you are today. If you look at me and my gray hair, I'm on the right-hand side of that curve. Now, when you're on the left-hand side of that curve, you have a lot of responsibilities and very little money. Does that sound familiar? Okay, so, but you're not going to be there forever. But it's important for you to understand that you have responsibilities, and sometimes it's, you know, it's home. Now, somebody said your rent right now is provided to you, which is good. You probably have to buy some food. So we're going to go into some of the details of that. But right now, if you have a family, you have additional responsibilities, and that all takes money. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. But then for the next 20 years or so, guys, you're going to begin to develop more money in your life. And as you get to be my age, you have less responsibilities. My daughter is grown, lives on the East Coast. I don't have any debt. I don't have to borrow to buy things because I've worked hard for, well, in my case, 50 years, and I crossed through the cross point. So when you get over to my side of life, you have more resources and less responsibilities. So that's your goal, to get there, okay? Now it's gonna probably take you 20, 30 years to get there from where you are, but that's okay. That we've all done that, and it just takes time. So tell me, how does that strike you? Does it give you hope, or does it give you distress?
It worries me. 'Cause you
Does
said-
it?
Yeah, it's just like how you said it, like, it's gonna take time, yeah. But things don't actually happen overnight, like
Yeah, it's not
The only thing that worries me is debt. Like, let's
Okay.
say if you start putting effort into this building and then you're like, oh, it's going good, and then it backs down, you're like, I'm in debt.
It's not uncommon at this stage of life to be in debt. Okay, it's kind of a natural thing. When you think about it, you're being bombarded from outside, from all different kinds of marketing things, from billboard signs, from just about everything that you come in contact. They're trying to sell you something, and what they say is, if you can't afford it today, what do?
Pay your little amounts.
You borrow. Exactly, right? If you can't afford it today, you borrow. And so that's why a lot of folks, and I went through this in my own life, where I just had a lot of debt. And my wife and I decided that we didn't want to be in debt anymore. So we changed our lifestyle in such a way that we could pay off our debt and then not borrow. So when we buy cars now, we don't borrow. That's kind of nice. Because you know what the Bible says about debt? It says, as the rich rule the poor, so a borrower is slave to the lender. As the rich rule the poor, so a borrower is slave to the lender. Why is a borrower slave to the lender?
Because the borrower pretty much now owes that person something. It's like
Give and take.
like in prison too. Like, you know, if you owe someone a pack of soups, hey, you gotta if you don't pay that day, you gotta do something for it. You know.
So I think what you're saying is, it's not okay to miss a payment. I mean, if you have a payment due, who controls that? Who controls your life when you have a payment due?
The person that you
The-
borrowed off.
That's right. The guy that lent you the money is going to come and knock on your door and say, "Where's my payment?"
And punch you in the face when you say you don't have it.
Take your house.
What's that?
He said, punch you in the face when you don't have the money.
They said, that's right.
Yes.
They could do that. Normally they don't have to do that, because they'll get the money from you somehow.
They'll take your house.
There was a story that I heard from a guy that I learned a lot from over the years. He said his son had a skateboard, and he reached a point. He said, "I want to buy that stereo," and he said, "Dad, can I borrow some money?" And he said, "Well, no." But he said, I'll tell you what I'll do. He said, "I'll loan you the money if you'll put up that skateboard as collateral." You know what collateral is?
Something that you can fall back on if
Exactly.
things go.
Something you can fall back on. So the kid borrowed the money. It cost him $100 to buy this stereo. Wasn't much of a stereo, but anyhow, it's what he wanted. And so he told he said, "You pay me $5 a month, and I'll." So the kid went on, paid the first few months, $5. Then he missed a payment. The next day, he's looking for his skateboard. And he said, "Dad, have you seen my skateboard?" He said, "Yeah." He said, "I sold it for $5. He said, "Well, why did you do that?" He said, "Well, you missed your payment. I took the collateral, The skateboard was worth a lot more than $5.
Mhm.
And he said, so I sold it for the payment. He said, so now you owe me $5 next month. And he told us, he said, my son, after that experience, never borrowed money again
Wow.
because that skateboard meant a lot to him.
Mhm.
So the point of that is, okay, you can borrow money. Everybody wants to lend you money at a very high interest rate, but avoid that as best you can. So the deal at the top here is all about acquiring income. That's your number one asset in life, is your income. So keep that and look at it so it kind of reminds you of the process that you're going through to get to the right side. Now the rest of this we've covered before. You can read this in your free time, but work is very important. Getting an income is very important. Now, you're not going to get the job, your lifetime job, the first time you go get a job. It's a process of getting jobs. You're going to earn a little bit, earn a little more, a little more, a little more, and finally, at age 35, 40, somewhere, you might land on the job that you love to do. Now, somebody was here earlier that worked at Amazon. They liked it, but it's boring, right? It's just repetitious. And it was okay, it provided income, but it's not their career job. They wanted to do something else. Somebody was in here earlier that wanted to do something in music. My daughter happens to be a singer, and she wanted to do a life in music, and that didn't work out. It's hard to make a living in music, but anyhow, she now does another thing, and she's busier and all get out and loves what she does. So make a plan. Broke versus poor. What's the difference between broke versus poor? One is bad decisions, one is mindset. Broke is a bad decision. Okay? If you can't afford it, you borrow. Now all of a sudden you got all this debt piled up that you got to pay every month, and you got a lender who's knocking on your door trying to get that payment from you every month. If you have a dip in your income, it's hard to make all those payments. Okay? So be intentional with your money. You can read this, make a plan, have a plan. Your plan is to get to the right side of the wealth curve. It takes time, but you will get there. Then we talked about saving and investing. There's a difference between saving and investing. We're going to go over that here today with a little diagram that I've prepared. We can just have an interaction of ideas and things that you think about that. But saving is having money available to you that you can get at in a moment's notice. Investing is to achieve a goal down the road. You invest, take a little more risk, and invest. Okay, we'll talk about that, and hopefully you understand the difference there, because it is important. Saving is something that you do every month. Okay, and my suggestion to you is set an automatic savings program on your phone. Do you guys have a app on your phone to handle your money? Okay, how's that work out for you? Do you like it? Yeah, it works out pretty good.
Yeah, actually, they let you borrow money there.
Yeah, they do. You have to be careful of
But
that.
it's cool because they let you borrow money. It's just like 100 if you need it, you know. And then once you put money on there,
A good goal for you to have a savings account is $1,000. That's a good start. But what we really want to get to is where in that particular savings account you have 3 to 6 months of living expenses. The reason for that is if you're without a job for a while, the bills keep coming. So you got to have something that you can fall back on. So you have to set some money aside. Do that every month. And if you have one of those apps on your phone, that's great. Or you go to a bank, and I really do highly recommend you go to a bank and get a checking account.
You're going the same place I was thinking. Most of the banks that I've dealt with in the past, I'm with Chase right now, and I've got checking and savings.
Right.
And the positive thing about that is I can set it up so that there's all my payroll goes direct deposit into my
Okay,
checking.
in your checking account, good.
But I've got a regular monthly transfer from checking to the savings. Happens without me having to remember doing it. It just goes.
My wife and I do the same thing.
Exactly. And
We do the
that-
same thing.
The nice thing about that is it's not something I have to think about doing.
It's right, it's
It
automatic.
just happens,
Silicon
yeah.
Valley Strong did that too.
I probably do. I imagine they do. I know when I banked with Valley Strong, back when it was Kern Schools, years ago, they did then. For me, the downside to that is when I get on the Chase app on my phone, like I'm gonna check my balance or do something with it or whatever, or on my computer at home, when that first page comes up, big numbers, here's your checking account balance. Big numbers right underneath it, here's your savings balance. My brain automatically goes, ooh, I can spend that. So, it's a little bit of, come on in, Jeff. It's a little bit of, self-discipline, self-control to say, you know, and what I've tried to do over the last couple of years, if I do
Hey,
need
hi,
to pull a
how are
little
you?
bit
Pretty good,
out
good.
of that this month, next month I put it back on top of whatever else I put.
Thank you.
I'm not perfect with it yet, but I'm getting there.
The key word that you said there is discipline.
Yeah.
And when you put money into an emergency fund, into that $1,000 fund,
Yeah.
you have got to not touch it unless there's an emergency. That's there for things like illness,
Mhm.
car repairs, home repairs. That stuff comes up.
Yep.
And to be able to go out and get a couple $100 out of your emergency fund, boy, it has to be there. You just have to discipline yourself not to touch it. And that's not easy. It's, as Jeff said, it's sitting there and it's available money, and boy, there I have a need, and therefore I go get it.
Especially in this time, everybody loves spending money.
Oh yeah. Well, we're bombarded with that stuff, right? So anyhow, read about savings and investing. There's just some good ideas on there for you, and how to handle that. But my first thing is get a checking account. I prefer credit unions, but banks are fine. I like credit unions because they're local for the most part, and they're easier to deal with, in my opinion. But
Yeah.
that's just the way it is. Set up a checking account and a savings account. If you go to a credit union, they'll automatically set up a savings account for you and put $5 in there. So you have a checking account and a savings account. But as was said, set up something that it's automatically taken out at the beginning of the month from your paycheck and deposit it in that account. Just get in the habit of doing that, because it'll add up. I have a lady that I haven't worked with her now for several years, but when she first started, she's a single mom with a 1-year-old living with her mother, and for some reason she just had the idea she needed to start a financial plan. Somebody had talked to her. So what she wanted to do, and her concern was if something happened to her, because she was taking her money and giving it to her mom, who was providing the home for her and taking care of her daughter when she was at work and so forth. She said, if something happens to me, my mom is in big trouble. So she said I needed life insurance. Okay, now this is a young lady who was not yet 30, and she had a steady job. And she said, well, I need to have some money from my mom. I said, well, so how much do you think you need? In that scenario, how much do you think a person like that should have in the way of life insurance? She is gone, her income is gone, her mom needs a stream of income to care for her baby. What do you think? 100,000? More?
How old's the kid?
1 years old.
So to get a 1-year-old to 18, get him through high school, it's running what, a million now?
Yes.
They wanna go to college?
We can talk about college at another time. I have my own thoughts on college, but
Yeah.
that's okay. But it's a lot higher number than you think. So what we did with her is we got her a $500,000 life insurance policy. Now at her age, what do you think the monthly premium was for that?
Pretty high, I'm assuming.
Pretty high?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what she thought. $35 a month.
Wow. It's actually really reasonable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so,
That's nothing.
and so at her age, now this is a term policy. There's a difference between term and permanent, but this is a term policy for 20 years that got her 1-year-old through high school and into adult life. And so $500,000, $35 a month. But then she also wanted to set up a savings account, an emergency fund. So she was strapped. I mean, she didn't have a lot of money. So we started her on a program where she put $10 a month into a deal on her phone. So she's $10 a month, and it doesn't add up very fast, does it? About a year later, she upped that to $75 a month. She now has almost $6,000 in that emergency fund.
Nice.
I mean, that's just the magic of compounding over time. And she just disciplined herself to put that money in there, and she doesn't spend it. She just disciplines herself. So that's a real life story of a young lady who had the right idea about getting protection for her daughter, which turned into a savings account. So that's just ideas for you guys to be thinking about. Now, this next page that has all the circles on it is really the kind of the focus of our attention today. I call it your intentional money flow. Now, earlier we said something about you need to have a plan. Guys, I can't emphasize this enough, but every dollar that you bring into your bank account, you need to have a plan for it. Every dollar. Because otherwise, if you're going around town with cash in your pocket, that cash has a way of disappearing, doesn't it? I mean, it's just kind of the way it is.
Burns right through my wallet.
Yeah, $5 here, $10 there, $20 there, whatever. Next thing you know, it's gone, and you don't really know where it went. So every dollar that comes into your account, you need to be intentional with it, and that's what this diagram is intending to do. So the first thing you need to do, and the Bible's clear on this, is an Old Testament concept called a tithe. Now, in the Old Testament, when they were subjected to lots of laws and rules and so forth, the tithe was known as 10% of whatever crop they produced, because it was an agricultural community. So 10% of their crop they had to bring into the temple. Now, we have taken that concept of 10% and we've moved it into this world today. 10% is kind of a guideline. You need to have a heart for giving back. And I call it a tithe on here, but it really has to do with giving. And if you get in the habit of giving to your church, to some charity of your choice, whatever, you need to build that into your planning. The box on the left is called living. Now, how many here have actually sat down and written out your monthly giving plan?
Several renditions.
It's hard to do.
I just kind of go on a whim until I don't have more money.
It's when I run out of money, I'm done with my plan. Yeah. You run out of money before the end of the month. That's what happens. What I would like to really encourage you to do, and there's a worksheet. The next page is a worksheet where you can take what you need to spend each month, and these are just the things that you absolutely have to spend.
It's actually really useful.
Okay, so we were talking earlier about air conditioning. One of the things on here is the electricity bill. As summer comes into being,
300.
yeah,
If not more.
but you can hang meat in your apartment, right?
What?
Isn't it cold in there? Didn't you say that you keep it down at like 70?
I'm not gonna hang meat in there. It'll get smelly.
Well, meat lockers are cold. That's the reason I
I
said
keep
that.
mine around like 68.
But as summer approaches, it gets real uncomfortable if it's warm, right? So my suggestion, 78 or 80, and get a fan. keep the air circulating. And if you have a ceiling fan, the places you guys are living, do they have a ceiling fan?
Only AC.
I think they do.
Okay. The reason I mention that is because you can change the blade's rotation. If it rotates one way, it forces the air down. If you reverse it, then it forces the air up. So in the wintertime, you want to force the air up, the heat up, right? In the summertime, you want the cool air to come down. But if you have a fan, 78 or 80, you can be very comfortable in that. Okay. If you go much lower than that, $300 PG&E bills. Yes.
How do you rotate the fan? Like, make it rotate?
There's a switch. There's a
Little
switch on
things
there.
that hang down that you
There's a little
pull.
black
They
switch.
changed that.
If you look at the fan below the blade, there's gonna be a little round, about the size of a tuna can beneath it, and that's where all the chains and everything, turn the light on.
Sometimes
The
it's
light's attached to that also, but on the side of it, there's a little black button that slides up or down. Push it up, it's gonna pull air up. Pull
It
down,
depends
it's
on the
gonna pull
type.
Wait, so you're
Because
just,
we had a pulley thing.
The pulley thing is gonna turn the light on and off.
No, but I have two.
One
One did the light.
gonna turn the light on and
And
off,
one switch.
one's gonna change the speed of the fan.
Yeah.
so you're
Choose a
telling
high,
me,
medium, low.
so you're telling me this whole entire time I was using a ceiling fan the wrong way?
You didn't know that?
Most people don't know it.
They don't know it. Yeah.
No, it's on the top. It's weird.
It's not just a you guys thing, trust me, I've known
I
people
got
my
very familiar
age
with
that
ceiling
I
fans
think
over the years.
Yeah.
Mainly hitting my hands on them.
Yeah.
That's 8 years old.
8 years old.
If you can't feel the air coming down, you've got to go in the wrong way.
Yeah, stand underneath it while it's on, if you feel the air blowing, in the summertime, that's great. If it's winter time, you want it going the other way.
But the
The
lo-
black
the
switch,
lower
the-
the lower you
the-
turn your thermostat, the bigger the electricity bill.
That is true.
So a big part of this here is managing these items. So if you go down this list, talk about these. Rent. Now, some of you don't pay rent, right? That's good. So I've got several iterations here that you can, because your income will change, your circumstances will change. So just, you can keep working your way across the deal and every month create a new spending plan for you, okay? So groceries, now that's a number. We also have eating out down here, okay? So we don't, the idea here is not to make your life miserable.
Panda Express.
What it is if you add up all these things, so if you have a minimum wage job and you work full-time, how much, what's your gross income, do you know?
Wait, you said minimum wage job?
What's
Yeah.
minimum wage now?
What's minimum
I
wage
don't know what
now?
minimum wage is anymore.
But
I've been moving
For
states,
work?
that's why.
26.
Minimum wage right now is $16.90, okay?
most jobs, some jobs sometimes start.
They go
at
up to like
20.
2018.
Yeah, that's right.
It
So
varies.
if you can get a higher paying job, that's great.
Well,
A normal-
$20 ain't minimum wage.
I feel like 20 is.
Well, it's easier to pay like 20 an hour, not
Yeah,
bad.
to
Wage
now,
job, well,
yeah.
Minimum wage is if
Inflation.
you're like.
It depends on what state you're in as well.
It depends on your hours. Like for me, some of my jobs I got 16.12, and then some would be like 16.50. Even I have full-time jobs that give me $17.
Okay,
For Taco Bell, it's 20
But
an hour.
right now the workforce is not a good place.
No.
every place is a little different, but
It's
the
17.
minimum amount, at a minimum wage, working a full schedule, it's about $3,000 a month.
In Texas, the minimum wage is $7.25 as a server. You make up the difference by tips. It's not fun.
That's the way restaurants do it?
Yep, out there in Texas, it's just, here's $7 an hour. Everything else you will make through your tips.
Wow.
And for Taco Bell, it's 20 an hour, but
California, the
they cut the hours.
in California, the supervisor takes your tips.
That's evil.
Okay, so now back to the page with the circles on it. The living number is what you worked on that worksheet. And that's an amount that has to go out every single month. So when you bring your paycheck home, then you need to leave that amount in your checking account to pay your bills. Anything over in that can go into your savings. The tendency is to leave too much in the checking account and then it just kind of disappears. But again, this comes back to the discipline piece. Leave just an amount, and maybe you could round it up to the next $100, but leave enough in your checking account to pay your bills. Everything else you want to move out. So these other circles down here have to do with where you put your other money. Now, if you're a family and you have little ones to care for, one of the first things that you would want to do, well, you got to have an emergency fund. We talked about that earlier, right? You got to have that emergency fund. But then right after that, if you're a family, you need to provide for your family should the primary breadwinner not come home for whatever reason. Maybe the Lord may take them home. They might get hit by the milk truck. Who knows? There's lots of reasons why people, or they become disabled and can't work. So you need to have some protection there for the family that income comes in, okay? So emergency fund first, we start with $1,000, get $1,000 in your savings account at your bank, and then let that grow to 3 to 6 times your living expense. So if you're making $3,000 a month, and you gotta have how much in there? $9,000, okay? Now that's a big number. It's going to take you a while to get there, but you will get there. You will get there. Then the circle in the farthest right there has to do with family protection, and so you'll need to do that to protect your family. And then these other 2 circles on that same line there have to do with things that you're saving for,
Like a car or something. Or
like a car or like a house. We had somebody in here before that's saving for a wedding.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wait,
Yeah, a wedding. And somebody talked to her about how expensive weddings are.
They are expensive. You gotta get the chairs.
I ain't doing any of that. Only $1 million.
Yeah.
I'm just
No,
going to the court.
well,
We'll rep some nice
You gotta take the emotion out of it.
This side.
Honestly, I feel like just go to court.
Do the courts and then throw a party somewhere else, you don't need a wedding.
Exactly.
That's one way to do
The
it.
moment you label a wedding, they're gonna charge you.
Honestly.
You know what's crazy? One of my brothers, he got
It's a pretty party.
a nice Audi, right? But he still has to pay on it.
Yeah.
And my brother, my other brother, he's a security guard. He just picked up a $4,000 truck, Titan. Nice. It looks like it came off the lot.
Oh yeah, a
He
used truck.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a used truck. It looks like it got off the lot, and man, I'm like, why would anybody even?
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
Especially a truck. Trucks are. I don't think anybody should have a car. Trucks are.
It depends on your lifestyle.
Yeah, but like trucks, you could haul anything, like a deer, all types of stuff. And
Buying a good used car is a good way to go as long as it's reliable.
And the value on it is better because if you buy a new car, it starts losing value the
It
moment you
instantly
drive it off
starts.
the lot.
Yep.
Yeah, you're right. It loses a third of its value. First block you drive it. Yeah.
Which is insane, honestly.
Yeah. So there's plenty of good used cars out there, and do that. Avoid going into debt. That's really, as the rich rule the poor, so a borrower's slave to the lender. Right. So we don't want to be a slave to the lender. So any questions on any of these circles here? How about the living circle? That's a tough one.
is that for like your living
Huh?
expenses? Is that for like living expenses?
Yeah.
Yeah, boom.
That's the chart. That's the chart with all the boxes.
Nowadays you could actually get living stuff for free, like if you go on OfferUp, Marketplace, they'll have cleaning supplies. You could get like I used to get diapers for my daughter for free off OfferUp.
Okay. See, that's a good point. You're using your head. You're being smart about how you spend money. And
it was actually her. She always buys clothes off off-road, so.
Well, good. It's okay to do that. I have a sister who lives in Oregon. She does all her shopping at thrift stores.
I prefer going to the
Thrift
store.
stores used to be cheap,
You can
now
find
they're.
something really
Well,
nice for cheap.
they've figured it out.
Yeah, I don't like
Because
the
it's
good
become more
ones.
popular.
Because they get donations.
Right?
And they'll sell it for like $13.
Yeah, their thrift stores have figured it out. They're taking advantage of it, but it's cheaper than buying brand off the internet or any other place.
Yep,
You
and you
know?
can find some gems in there as well.
Yeah,
Yeah, a lot of my favorites are from drifting.
yeah.
I got this for
I don't need fancy
Did
clothes,
you?
I just need
Yeah.
comfy
And then
clothes.
the shorts got the,
So,
center.
so you have to be smart about it, but this chart here, guys, I would start here, go through each one of these things and see how much are you spending each month.
What's TITH? What's this?
Tip.
I don't even know the-
Tithe, that's money to the church.
Oh, yeah?
Tithe.
Any place you wanna donate to, like charities and
Well,
stuff.
yeah, donation.
As a believer in Jesus, we have to have a heart for others. Okay, that's where the tithe comes in. The Old Testament, they used to give 10% of their crop to the temple.
Huh.
Do you think, I feel like some churches, I feel like some churches use the money that they receive for evil, and then some churches will.
Then you don't go to that church.
You don't need to
Bingo.
give your
But
money away
they're
to charities. You
more
always
common
use it
nowadays.
to directly help.
Like, I've been seeing them everywhere.
Yeah, there's plenty of
Like, where they're just,
organizations, I'll just ask your money.
where they'll spend money on, and this is the one thing Jesus hated too, they'll spend money on like a store or something, and they'll build the store within the church, and they'll start selling stuff.
We love capitalism, baby.
Like food, they'll sell all
They
kinds
have,
of stuff,
yeah.
and I don't think churches, you're not supposed to, like.
If you're attending a church like that, don't attend that church,
Right, yeah.
okay? Because not all churches do that.
They shouldn't be trying to sell you something.
Yeah. So we have to be discerning in where we worship and who's teaching us about this kind of stuff. We talk about tithing, about giving. I had a client years ago that gave away more than half of his income.
That's a lot.
It is.
And he drove a 15-year-old car, lived in a 50-year-old house, and he could have afforded a whole lot more than that. But he and his wife chose to give their money to charity. Hi, sweetie. Hi. So now here, the end result of that was that he and his church, this guy happened to be a pastor in a church, and he gave his money to the Presbyterian Foundation. They built the very first church back in Disney World. They used that money to build the first church in Disney World.
Oh, wow. I would have never known that.
Yeah. So, but just the sweetest guy, just the most humble guy, and just loved to give. So, giving, I encourage you to build giving into your financial plan.
What do you think Scientology is?
Oh my gosh.
Have that on my mind.
Oh my
What is
gosh.
that?
A whole
Do you
different
know what
topic.
Scientology is?
A fake religion.
We'll talk about Scientology later.
A big money laundering scheme.
Yeah, that.
It's not something you want to mess with, but we can talk about that later, not
Something
here.
bad
But
to stay away from.
yeah,
Yeah, pretty much.
if you want to build a strong spiritual life, follow the direction of the people at Covenant Community Services. They got it figured out. And Randy and Kim and Steve and Jeff and the team here are just fantastic. So they'll help you along the way there. But back on my chart, don't avoid this chart, guys. Matter of fact, I'm kind of halfway thinking maybe you should sit here and fill it out now. We got pencils.
I'll do it.
I would, but I'm not too sure how much money I have. going to be having the next month, so I'll work it out later.
I'm not asking you how much money you're gonna have. I'm asking you, how much do you need to live?
Oh, I don't know that.
Yeah, you do.
Little bow.
Yeah, I was being a life of money itself.
If I ask you the question, how much are you gonna spend this month eating out?
I don't eat out.
Okay, so your answer is
0.
0. Others, here's Taco Bell over here. But everybody likes to eat out from time to time. My wife and I went to In-N-Out the other day.
Yes.
You can get a number 2 for under $10, which in this day and age is pretty reasonable.
It's really good, honestly.
Carl's Jr. is where it's at for me.
My go-to
Okay.
is, my go-to is Denny's, a double cheeseburger with some seasoned fries on your thing. Yeah.
Okay, let's if you would do it, take some time right now and write down what you think your spending plan is.
Hey sir, have you ever tried Frugatis?
Who?
Frugatis? Sure.
Yeah.
Do you like it?
Well, I like it. It's expensive.
Okay.
It's too expensive. Everything is too
It
expensive.
is expensive.
I like your bow.
Thank you so much. Alrighty.
$50.
I hate talking too
And
much.
then on top of that is the electricity bill. My one last month.
Well,
So if you don't have a car payment, the answer there is 0.
Car payment, yeah, 0, and then the car
Bless you.
0.
But if you need transportation, and getting a car is something that you wanted, you need to fill in an amount there that says, how much are you willing to spend for a car payment? Now, hopefully you can find a deal on a used car that you don't have to pay a lot.
Offer up marketplace, however, if you need one.
And the Facebook.
Now, if you have a car, obviously you have to put gas in it,
That's
and you gotta have car insurance.
What I learned about having a car is that their luxury on its own too. You gotta get the tags, the freaking license. Man.
Cars are expensive. Cars are expensive. Electricity bill, how much you're willing to spend to keep your place cool?
Hey, what if you don't pay nothing on any of these? Zeros.
Then I guess they're all zeros.
Shopping.
And-
What does it mean by shopping? Shopping for clothes? I never
Yeah.
go shopping for clothes.
Sure, shopping for clothes and things like that.
So luxury stuff?
Yeah.
'Cause I don't do that.
I mean, a big part of this, guys, is building the life that you want to have.
So Wi-Fi?
I mean, I get,
It's because
I get food
it's because my voucher. My voucher don't got my, I forgot to sign the paperwork, now they charge me for rent.
Water bill, phone bill, eating out, shopping, and then there's always some other stuff there too.
Yeah, I'm in THP Plus, so my entire check gets eaten
so
up.
you see Jeff too.
Yeah.
To do what?
Oh, no, I see
Do you
Samantha.
think it's the
I know,
lady
the cornerstone.
Oh,
Yeah.
No,
It's both of your jobs.
no, it's a joint
Yeah, but
effort.
it's like, I need more hours.
I feel
working here and
like
everything.
it depends on what it is.
I just barely.
No,
have
you-
a job, and, like,
You gotta both be on
I
the
think
same page when it comes to spending money.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, but those, well, that's an
I don't
agreement
do it
already.
like half a year before I
You know,
get
we
there.
already know
It's
what
not to get
spending
the,
is.
I have my paper.
Write it.
Like, I always have trouble doing certain
plane
things.
tickets and then
So like,
to my brother's.
I've
I'll-
been living,
I'll
I've been
have
living
her do
check
it.
to check.
Well,
I don't
I'm
get enough
just
to
more-
even choose.
make it a team project.
I'm slower than the average Joe, you know?
Well, that's an excuse.
They cut my.
So it just takes you longer.
I
It's
have,
getting 200.
sometimes I'll
So
wake
I thought it was
up.
really low. I don't make enough money for this. I should.
Hi, sweetie. What's going on back there?
Another thing to make sure that I can
Here.
get the money.
What?
Yeah, I used to,
I submitted it to my
I
phone.
used to did 292, then they
She
bumped it
likes
to
to sit
like
in the drawers at home.
262. That $100 going more with it.
I would make like less than.
So what are we finding out?
Every 2 weeks, and they bumped it. 27 a month.
I get like 2
I eat a lot.
every week, like, and that's highballing.
Everybody does.
Yeah, the job I was working at cost me over $4.
And need to
I
get-
just
I need
use
to get
Rocket
another
Money
one.
to help me with my finances.
Do you?
Yeah, it's like an app that helps
Okay.
that helps you track your subscriptions,
I don't
how much
ever
money you
like
have,
it.
and how
Okay.
often it
How's that work for you? Does that work
It works
okay?
great.
Okay, good.
Because I used to work as.
This is a pencil and paper project. That works too if you can understand it and do it.
There you go. You only have 3
But the main thing is that when you get paid each month, you need to make sure you leave just that amount of money in your checking account.
Yeah, it also like gives me like a different, it gives me investments and it helps me open different
Okay.
accounts.
Okay, okay, that's good.
It's good
What's
to
it
go.
called, Rocket Money?
Rocket Money.
Yeah, okay.
I'm already 20.
There's several apps out there like that, and that's good. Maybe you should have a class on that, teach people how to use it.
It's really easy.
I think she just.
To you, it's easy, to a lot of people, it's not.
No, it's really easy.
Well, I know, to you,
No, it's not to me, it would be easy for anybody.
okay.
It's a tutorial.
It
I,
has tutorial.
I work with a lot of different
And
people,
my monthly
and,
expense.
and money is a mystery of life to people.
I have it and then I don't. That's just how it is for me right now.
What's that?
Mine is 901.
That's your total? Okay,
My monthly living expenses.
okay. That's low,
That's low.
that's low.
Like a
That's like pocket change, huh?
Well, I wouldn't say that, but if that's what you have to spend every month, no matter what, good.
Yeah, actually, you know, after being an adult, because when I was a kid, I used to like see $100 and be like, man, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know.
It's so funny.
Not anymore.
I was
Not
like,
anymore.
damn,
Welcome to fatherhood.
My dad.
My goal is not to
Keep
be
disappointed.
rich or famous, but to be wealthy because I have countless generational curses on both sides of my family. So
Generational,
like
Yeah,
like my family have a history of
I do. Yeah, it's
like pretty much
because my algorithm was just breaking me.
chaos and just
Okay.
commotion and stuff.
Okay.
So like it causes
Honestly, I thought
more
that was cool.
more issues in the family.
yeah.
And right now, me and
Did you
my
make the
brother are
exams?
trying to break these curses.
Good for you. Okay.
And,
Well.
so yeah, so
Lean on the Lord.
I always love
The
to
Lord,
do DOI and stuff no matter what.
the Bible says, I have a plan for you for good and not evil. For a future and for hope. That's what the Bible says. And God is there to provide that to you. That's gotta be the center of all of your decision.
Yeah, well,
So, good for you, man.
thank you, brother.
you know what I do to keep me from eating too much sugar? I think apples.
Okay, any other questions, any other comments? You have to have a plan, folks.
It's sweet, so that.
What's the thought, because I took a finance class in my high school senior year, and I was wondering what information you may have on money markets.
Money market? Money markets are fine. That's a good place, by the way, for your emergency fund. When the bank sets up a savings account for you, that's not a money market. That's a savings account, you know, and the interest that they pay you on that is way less than 1%. Money market will pay you somewhere between 3, 4, 5%.
That's really good returns.
Yeah, and that's where it is today. It's fluctuating up and down as the market rate.
That's the case.
But you can get that. And then when you get into investing, now you're talking about 9, 10, 12, 15% return on your money. But those are different kinds of accounts. So that's a very good question. Because you can get trapped into these, you know, half of 1%. And I was working with a guy the other day. He had $50,000, and he wanted to put it into a savings account at the credit union. At their current rate, $50,000 would pay him $50 a year interest. Now, if you invested and had 10%, that's $5,000 a year. Okay, so when you get to that point in life, then you need to talk to a financial advisor, and they can get you into different investments. But for the short term, you know, credit union can help you with that.
Yeah, I'm currently making really strong.
Good.
No, fine.
put in long-term savings while I'm still like young, so that.
Sure. Good for you.
Good point.
Good for you, man. That's great. I like Valley
Uh,
Stream. Yeah.
Some say dogs.
My little buddy was like, I've been playing a lot for all
I adore dogs.
these gaming and everything.
Right.
You know that
Good.
one scene from The Office? If something happens to these dogs, I would kill everyone
Yeah.
and then myself.
Good for you. That's great. Okay, so the takeaway today is have a plan, be intentional with every dollar. Don't be walking around with a bunch of cash in your pocket and letting it disappear on you. Be intentional with every dollar that you bring in. Okay?
My credit score was 5.
Any other comments or questions?
Yeah, actually, I got a question. So, I asked the person to put $95 in my bank, in my savings.
Uh-huh.
I tried to post them out to see, you know, if there's any on there. And she never put it on
At a bank?
there. At Valley Strong. I think it was
Basically, yeah,
confusion.
that's why.
Well,
I just
do you have it
put
taken
my
out of your
credit
checking
card
account
in.
automatically and have it transferred over to your savings?
No, I asked them to do it.
That's why you gotta.
Well, they should have done it. I don't know
You think I
why.
should
I was like,
complain?
you know.
Well, I don't know, you can complain or get it straightened out. Find out why it happened so it doesn't happen again.
Yeah.
You know? And if you can set it up an automatic transfer every month when you get paid, that's even better.
How do you
It's just
do that?
the reason why
Just ask them?
banks are very hesitant.
Do you look at the account online?
The more we
Like on
research,
the app?
Yeah.
On the app? The app is kind of limited. But if you're gonna have it, go in and ask them to do that.
Smart.
They'll do it. They'll transfer it every month.
Are you done?
I just got.
I think we're done.
What? Are you done yet?